All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Wakakadash, Barakatham, to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf. And I say Shalom, and the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and his unbegotten Son, Ba'Hashem, in the name of Mashiach Yahushai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. Lashwan Kadash Sultan. And I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf. And I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of the prophecy updates as of April the 15th, 2025 on this Tuesday night. And this is a news article as of April the 16th, 2025 by Reuters. It reads, magnitude of a 6.4 earthquake strikes Afghanistan, the EMSC says. The earthquake of a magnitude 6.4 struck Afghanistan on Wednesday. It says the European Mediterranean Seismological Center EMSC says the quake was a depth of 121 kilometers, 75 miles, EMSC says. And this is the book of Luke 21 and verse 11. It's the book of Luke 21 verse 11. It reads, it says, a great earthquake shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilence and fearful sights of great signs shall be from heaven. So we're going to be seeing more increasing signs of great earthquakes in diverse places. Just like that magnitude of a 6.4 earthquake hit over there in Afghanistan. Because at first it was reported of a 5.6, and it went all the way up from a 5.6 to a 6.4. So that's called a signs of increasing of a high magnitude of great earthquakes in diverse places. And we're going to be seeing the modern day famines, modern day pestilence, and increasing fearful sights of great signs shall be from heaven as well too. And this news article says Hong Kong Post to suspend post service to U.S. Right, because you've been having the ongoing tensions heating up between the United States and China with this latest tariff wars. For the past 3 weeks, you've been seeing economic trade wars been heating up between China and the United States. And this is the book of St. Mark. St. Mark chapter 3 verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand. Right, that's what we're seeing in these latest economic trade wars heating up between China and the United States. So that's what you call an example of modern day kingdoms being divided. St. Mark verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand. Right, so modern day house being divided, which cannot stand. We're seeing that increasing. It says countries reached historical WHO endemic agreement, the AFP reports. It says Trump says he plans to stamp pains as part of a self-deportation program. 6.4 earthquake strikes Afghanistan, the EMC reports. Rubio, Jordanian Prime Minister, discuss boosting investment. State Department says Trump signs a memo barring undocumented immigrants from receiving Social Security benefits. It says Trump signs an order requiring commercial products to federal contracts. It says firefighters team works to contain fire in the Dead Sea area. It says Sinar meets with the UK counterpart in London to discuss Iranian nuclear issue, Gaza hostage. It says Dallas police responded to a school shooting in a high school, no injuries reported. I believe as a suspect was on a run, and 3 or 4 people were injured. And this is a news article from the Jerusalem Post. As we've been seeing, back and forth on and off rising tensions heating up between the Houthi rebels, which is a pro-Iranian group going against the Israel Defense Force, and the United States armies as well too over there in the Red Sea. And this is a news article from April the 15th, 2025 from the Jerusalem Post staff. And it reads, the U.S. strikes Houthi targets in the Houthi western Yemen report. American fighter jets reportedly struck 15 Houthi targets in the area in the Houthi in the western Yemen. The Houthis' own network AI Al Samaria stated on Tuesday. This is a developing story. And this is the book of Matthew. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Right, that's the sign of wars and rumors of wars. The Houthi rebels going against the United States armies. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Right, the pro-Iranian groups going against the Israel Defense Force. Iran versus Israel. So that's a sign of increasing of wars and rumors of wars. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Seeing that you be not troubled, right? Russia versus the Ukraine, that's a sign of wars and rumors of wars. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. Well, so it's going to come to pass, but it's not going to end just yet. So we're going to be seeing the building up of increasing of these wars and rumors of wars, of these nuclear wars that are heating up between these nations. Matthew 24, verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation. Right, as we're seeing, nuclear nations are rising up against nation, nation against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Right, just like that 6.4 earthquake hit over there in Afghanistan. And we're going to be seeing the modern day famines, pestilence, nation against nations, kingdom against kingdoms. And these building up or increasing of these wars and rumors of wars. Matthew 24, verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows, right? Modern day biblical signs and signs of times at the beginning of sorrows, which is going to continue to see increase. And this is on the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 3, and verse 8. And a time to love, and a time of HATE, and a time of war, and a time of peace, right? So we're definitely living in a time of HATE, and a time of war as well, too, which is significantly increasing in modern day times, just like it was in ancient times. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it should be still on. Right. Yeah, probably got a. Yeah. Right. Yeah, he got probably got to renew it again. Yeah, put the money in the car for him. Yeah. Put the money. Yeah. And this is the book of Second Ezra. Second Ezra chapter 9 and verse 3. Therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars in the world. So we're going to see more increasing uproars in people the world and increasing earthquakes as well too. Second Ezra 15 and verse 15. It says, for the sword of destruction draweth nigh, because we know the modern day sword is weapon. For the sword of destruction draweth nigh. And one people should stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. Right, we're seeing the Hamas versus the Israel Defense Force, the resistance of the Palestinians going against the Israel Defense Force. We're seeing the Houthi rebels going against the United States armies. We're seeing the Russia-Ukraine situation, and we're seeing these modern-day seditions and uprisings and uproars people in the world, which is only going to continue to increase. Second Ezra 15 verse 16, for there should be sedition among men, which we're seeing right now is going to come to full effect. But there should be sedition among men, bending one another. They should not regard their kings and their princes, and of course the actions that in power with these protesters, uprisings, uproars people in the world. It's the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and the stars. And it says, and there shall be signs in the sun and the stars. Let me read that again. Luke 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and the moon, and the stars upon the earth. The squares of nations will perplexity which one. Right, so due to the increasing seditions, uprising, the increasing uncertainty that we're seeing increasing more and more with these uprising, these protests, and these seditions, and nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. That's why we're seeing the increasing of the squares of nations will perplexity which one. And we're seeing the increasing signs from the sun and the moon and the stars as well too. And we're seeing the increasing upon the earth, the stress of nations will reflect the seas is born, which is going to continue to see increase as we see the increasing show forth more and more and more. As it says again, the U.S. strikes Houthi targets in the U.S. Strike Houthi targets in Houdia, Western Yemen reports. It says, could Mossad kills the IRGC Air Force chief to open a striking Iran nuke program? Question mark. It says, Turkey president. It says, whoever prevents Syria from peace will have a Turkey against. It says, from RFK. It says, Iran must stop and eliminate enrichment weaponized programs. Yeah, we're definitely going to see Iran still going to continue building up their nuclear program, despite the fact they've been having increasing talks and more agreements to have more talks with the representations of the United States and representation of Iran. So that's still going to have Iran building up their nuclear capability, especially if it goes into that Joel, the third chapter. Go to the Middle East. It says, second U.S. carrier arrives off the coast of Yemen. Video footage shows a fighter jets taking off to launch attacks against the Houthi militants. Right, that's another sign of wars and rumors of wars. In Matthew 24, verse 6, it says, this is from April the 16th, 2025, from the AAP, updated 11 seconds ago. And it reads once again, the second U.S. carrier arrives off the coast of Yemen. It says a second U.S. aircraft carrier has arrived off the coast of Yemen as Washington ramped up its attack as the Houthi militarized targets, according to a new satellite images. The USS Carl Benson is operating in the key shipping route northwest of Chakotay Island in the Indian Ocean near the mouth of the Gulf of Eden. The carrier is accomplished by the Taquaga class guided missile, if I pronounced that right. Cruise the cruiser USS Preston and the two Oleg Work class guided missile destroyers, the USS Sterling and the USS William P. Lawrence. The U.S. sent the Vinson to back up the carrier, the USS Harry S. Truman, which had been launched airstrikes against the Houthis since March the 15th. It says video footage released by the U.S. and Navy shows the Vinson prepared to ordnance and the launch of F-35 and F-18 fighter jets off its deck. The U.S. Central Command also posted videos saying that it had been 24/7 strikes on the Houthis by the two carriers. Once again, this is the book of Mark 13, verse 7. It's the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 7. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must need be, but the end should not be yet. Also, these are signs of wars and rumors of wars. Wars is going to come to pass, but it's not going to end just yet. St. Mark 13, verse 8. For nation shall rise against nation, like the Houthi rebels, pro-Iranian group going against the United States armies over there in the Red Sea. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, like Iran versus Israel, the pro-Iranian groups throughout that whole region going against the Israel Defense Force. Cross-border conflicts are heating up in that region. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows, right? So they're going to continue to increase the modern day famines and pestilence and modern day troubles, the modern day nation against nations and kingdom against kingdoms. So with that, hopefully this quick sit down lesson was edifying. This prophecy updates as of April 15th, 2025 on this Tuesday night. So with that, hopefully this was edifying once again. And with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makar Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf. Until next time, I will say Shalom.